what the fuck is that box? So, and this little box will bring so much clarity to you, you will be astounded, okay? It actually is crazy what a little box can do to your chart vision, okay? So, introducing you our guide, beautiful Asia session, okay? But as you can see, sometimes might be not so beautiful, right? But in overall, Asia session is just beautiful. It is so clear sometimes. It helps you so much identify the right areas. But now I show you how to actually use it as your advantage, okay? Why do we trust and choose Miss Asia session for our guide? So first of all, we have to understand that we will section the day in cycles and pretty much chapters, okay? And that will help you so much not getting confused with the overall structure, playing like, oh, why is this a break of structure? Why is this maybe an inducement? Like, where do I start? Like, all these questions will actually be solved by just this little box. You wonder why, how? No worries, we will show you. The starting point of every day from now on will be Asia session for us. Because funnily enough, at my time, which is German time, Asia starts like almost midnight, which literally is the next current day. So if you have like a day, obviously when do you open up the day? Like, I don't even know why I'm drawing. It's obviously midnight. So technically Asia starts a little bit earlier, but I will show you obviously in the next slide how and what times we will use. But just for now, write that down. It's very important. The starting point when we now analyzing charts from now on and forever will be Asia session. We start with Asia session. You will always have a starting point. Okay, that's essential because you always know, okay, I need to start here. That's my point one. Okay, so shows us the first true market intention for the day. We use Asia for a guide and it will help us immensely seeing what the overall day will look like and what they're trying to do, like what Enigma is doing and how we can figure out what the true intentions are. And gives us the first overlook of the first build up for the day. Okay, because again, we need a build up for an inducement and Asia will give us the first overlook of where this build up will be and we can orientate ourselves after that. Has recurring behavior we can always rely on. I will show you so many examples and you can trust me, you will think this fucker shows us the same example over and over again. It's not. It's literally hundreds of different days, but they all look the freaking same, right? Then a very important one as well, the Asia session needs to be induced. Like 99 out of 100 trading days, the Asia range will be induced. There's rarely a day where the whole price action is inside the Asia range. So we already understand like 99 out of 100 times, Asia range will be induced. What do I mean by induced? If this is the Asia range, price action make like this, whatever, we expect the price either induces high or low. We almost know that for fact. It happens 99 out of 100 times, okay? Then of course, it eliminates noise. Again, if you have like this overall price action and like this and this, like where do you even start? Like where do you start? We don't know. Of course, we need like a starting point. And if we say, oh, out of a sudden, this is Asia range. Guess what? So this is the inducement of Asia. Oh, there you go. Needs to go lower, right? It will actually make a lot of sense. Keeps us patient also. Like if you have something like this structure point, like why do you know that maybe this point in here or this one in here, even if they have imbalances, why is it not a point of interest? Let's say if this is Asia range, guess what? And prices do something like that, Asia needs to be induced. So guess what? They will induce it and then go lower. So you don't even look at them anymore because you understand that Asia low needs to get, or Asia high needs to get induced first and then it will drop, right? But again, easy stuff. I will show you so many examples with regard, right? And then of course, it will give us a directional bias for the first stages or the first stage of the overall daily cycle. We need to start somewhere. Again, today we show you the first step of the whole puzzle, which starts with Asia. Okay, and of course, on top of that, if that's not enough, it will add a lot of clarity to the charts. So write that down. Let's see how she actually looks like, the beautiful Asia. So our starting point, and write that down. Our starting point will be 11 p.m. UTC plus 2. Okay, that is our starting point for Asia. And the end, there's a lot of controversy about like how long is the Asia range. There's a lot of discussion. I actually talked with Josh a few days ago about this exact topic. The Asia range is obviously 8 hours long. It starts at 11 p.m. and it ends at 7 a.m. UTC plus 2. So whatever time is that for you, that is the true Asia range. Okay. Then also we have an Asia high and we will have an Asia low. Asia low being just the low of the whole Asia range, and the high, of course, being the high of the whole Asia range. And we draw this beautiful box around it, right? So what do we expect though? So Asia session is the first session which opens every new day. That's an overall worldwide fact, okay? So overall, if the markets open, Asia is literally the first session that opens. If you have our session tomorrow, guess what? It's Sunday. But then when the markets open, what session is it for the whole world? It's obviously Asia session. So Asia always opens the day. It doesn't matter if it's Tuesday, if it's whatever. Always the first day opens with Asia. Okay, that's why we're taking that starting point all the time as well, right? And of course, that's why it's being the first session. It is usually the weakest of the 3 main sessions. We have 3 main sessions, which is Asia, London, and New York session. That's the main 3 we will orientate on, okay? And it builds up the liquidity before the biggest session, which is London session, opens. That's write that down because that's essential. Asia range does nothing more than building up liquidity until, of course, the huge liquidity comes into the whole market, which comes with London session. London session has the most money involved of the whole day or every day. It's literally always the same. London session is where the money is, okay? So that's why they're using Asia for a guide to build up those liquidity the moment the real money gets introduced when London opens. Okay, so we are interested in seeing what trend they show before they break out of Asia range, before they break out of the range. Be interested in seeing what they're doing before that. So if you make it a little bit more visible, what do they do in here? Right? So now let's find out what the world with the analysis, whatever the retail strategy is seeing at this exact point. So one of the most used breakout strategies is actually, funnily enough, the Asia range breakout strategy. So that's one of the most common strategies in the whole world. And that just means they're taking the high and low of Asia. And the moment that gets broken, they're taking the buy trade or the sell trade. Crazy, Google it. It's one of the most used strategies overall. So again, they're using their Asia range breakout strategy to add even more liquidity in even the wrong side direction. But what else do we have? If you just look at this illustration in here, Asia low also created this some sort of doppel bottom or even like the support or whatever, even for smart money trader, maybe the whatever how to call it, the order blocks, I don't even know, right? And guess what? Out of a sudden, like price starts from here, building up this trend. This trend is forming. Look at the channel. So everyone obviously sees, oh yeah, the price will go up forever, this like that. And finally, last but not least, there we go. There's the Asia breakout to the high side. So question for every single one in here. What or how do you think is the short to buy ratio at this specific point in price ending up here? Is the whole world buying like this? Or is the whole world selling like this? Of course, every single one in the whole world is buying right now. But obviously, they don't have any reason at all who's selling in here. Nobody with retail strategies sells in here. They don't have any reasons. There's no breakout, there's no retest, there's no trend line, there's no nothing, there's no indicator, there's no nothing. Everything the confirmations say is long. Okay, so that's why the buy to sell ratio looks like that. So with the understanding of liquidity and what should happen next, the question is, so I guess you all know what will happen next. Ha. So what will happen next? Obvious and easy answer is, of course, choop. Choop them all. They're all buying. Where's the last stop loss? Of course, in here. They're getting all built up in the wrong side direction. Breakout traders entering here. Internal break of structure, mitigation, choop. See how that works. Is that too easy? Is that actually too easy? Maybe you think that is too easy. Maybe you think like that can unbelievable be like that easy in the chart. Like there's no point, zero chance that this happens in the charts like that, right? So guess what? We do whatever. We make it obvious for us. We can whatever, add the break of structure in here, imbalance in here. That's your entry in here. Seems too easy? Guess what? So Miss Asia, please bring some clarity to the charts. Because look at that. If you're just now looking at a naked chart like this, where do you even start? Like, do I have a low here? That makes a new low high. That's here. Break. No. Inducement. What did he say? Imbalance. So yeah, that's an imbalance in here. What is about that imbalance? You see, that's a mess. That's a mess. We never do that ever again. So guess what we do? Choop. We put in the Asia range, and out of a sudden, that actually makes sense. We completely can ignore whatever that says something here, then here, even that one. We completely ignore that. Because why? At this point, what do? They're building up the short trend, building up this liquidity in here. But what do they do after they break out of Asia range? Huge channeling upwards like crazy. Not even giving any pullbacks at all. Look at this smooth moving upwards after breaking out of Asia range. Guess what the whole world is doing? So guess what? After this, Asia low gets never been broken to the low side. That's Asia low in here. If anything, they're building up equal lows, not even reducing it. Guess what? Now they're breaking out of Asia, building the high channel. So what is the whole world doing? Everyone. What are they seeing? Are they buying or are they selling? Of course they're buying. So guess what will happen? Guess what will happen? Choop. Is it too easy? Is it actually too easy? Like what? Of course, aiming for the liquidity down here. What? So guess what? Like, Miss Asia, please bring some clarity to this chart. It looks like a freaking mess. I don't even see anything in here. What the hell would I find here? So guess what we do? We bring some Asia session in. Out of a sudden, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So what is going on here? They're building up Asia high with also these equal highs. So guess what that will become? Liquidity. So guess what that will never gonna be? Will that be an area we should look for? No! We can label it right away as an SMT. Because we know now we induced Asia to the low side, building the channel to the downside, having all this liquidity above here. The whole world is selling. What is going to happen? They're stupid. So guess what they're doing in here? Asia low, building up false uptrend, messing around. We don't really care until they do what? Breakout of Asia, showing us the false channel. Again, we care about what they do before the breakout of Asia, building up the channel, breaking out low. What is the whole world doing? Getting their breakout low of Asia. Everyone is selling. Is it too obvious now? They duped them. What the hell? What? Guess what? Another one. Like what they're doing here. That's a good one. I love examples like that because they're kind of funny about this one. So then having this liquidity areas in here, Guess what they did before? Of course, they induce this area is low to stop out the people who took the right sell this time, right? Of course. Now building up the channel, but they induced before that. That's why it's important you understand the build-ups and the inducements. Guess what? Huge equal lows. Of course, inducing low before they move higher. Now building the whole uptrend. Now again, everyone is buying. Huh? Is it so hard at this point? They tube them. More easier example. Again, what do? Creating all these equal highs in here. Right? Is that an area you should be interested in? No. What can we do? We label it smart money trap. Right? Guess what they do? Building up liquidity here. Obviously breaking out of Asia. Now look at the speed. What they're doing it. Now even making people more excited, giving even another impulse low. Now as everyone is looking at the short, look at that, even channeling the whole day. Look at this huge, even downtrend the whole freaking day. What's going to happen? Is it that hard anymore? Choop. Right? So that alone, again, just by that, is interesting. But but when, like pretty much a lot of maybe ask like, oh, that's amazing. But how do we know when price is done inducing in the wrong direction and starts its real move though? Like, how can we know?